Sister Catherine. Cathy Cesnik was 26 in the fall of 1969, a school sister of Notre Dame and a gifted English and drama teacher beloved by students for the way she listened and pushed them to think. She had taught at Archbishop Keough High School, but at the time she vanished, she was on sabbatical from religious duties and serving as a teacher at Western High School in Baltimore City, living with another nun in a small apartment complex in nearby Catonsville. On Friday evening, November 7, 1969, she left the Carriage House Apartments to run a quick errand at the Edmondson Village Shopping Center, cash a check and pick up an engagement gift for her sister. Witnesses later recalled she returned to the area that night, but by morning she had not come home. Her car, a small sedan, was found muddy and illegally parked on the street across from the apartment, a block or so away. On the front seat was a bakery box of buns, consistent with the stop she may have made before heading back. Police opened a missing person investigation. Nearly 2 months passed without answers. On January 3, 1970, a father and son hunting in a remote, refuse-strewn dumping area off Monumental Road in the Lansdowne, Halethorpe area of Baltimore County discovered a woman's body on a hillside. It was Sister Cathy. The medical examiner determined she died from blunt force trauma to the head, a skull fracture that caused an intracerebral hemorrhage. Baltimore County Police assumed the homicide investigation, which remains open. Given the condition of the remains and the limited physical evidence recovered, detectives could not determine whether a sexual assault had occurred. For years, detectives chased leads. The file was heavily worked in the early 1970s, and when those leads were exhausted, it cooled, then warmed again in the 1990s when former Keough students came forward alleging sexual abuse by the school chaplain, Father A. Joseph Maskell. In 1994, 2 former students filed a civil suit against Maskell, the Archdiocese of Baltimore, and others. One woman alleged Maskell had once driven her to see Sister Cathy's body as a threat. Baltimore County's timeline notes that investigators documented her claim, but also the inconsistencies they found in her account. The lawsuit was ultimately dismissed on limitations grounds, but it prompted a fresh look at the homicide and early DNA work. Across the 1990s and 2000s, police developed DNA profiles from evidence and compared them to several potential suspects with negative results. In 2016, the department reassigned the case within its cold case unit, and activity intensified. With the state's attorney's approval, detectives exhumed Maskell's remains on February 28, 2017, to obtain a DNA sample for direct comparison. In May 2017, police announced the DNA did not match evidence from the crime scene, cautioning that the exclusion alone did not resolve the question of who killed Sister Cathy. From the early years, detectives also asked whether Sister Cathy's killing might be connected to other unsolved murders of young women in the same era. Baltimore County's official timeline shows that investigators reviewed 3 cases in particular: the November 1969 killing of 20-year-old Joyce Malecki, an FBI case because her body was found at Fort Meade; the 1970 killing of 16-year-old Pamela Conyers, Anne Arundel County; and the 1971 killing of 16-year-old Grace Montanai, Baltimore City. No link has been established, but interest in the Malecki case led to a new development. In December 2023, the FBI exhumed Malecki's remains to attempt DNA recovery that might generate leads. Authorities have not announced any connection to Sister Cathy's case. Public attention widened in 2017 with the release of the 7-part Netflix series The Keepers, which chronicled survivor accounts, traced the long trail of the cold case, and followed 2 Keough alumni who spent years gathering documents and interviewing witnesses. The series brought sustained national focus to a Baltimore story that had never been solved. In 2023, Maryland experienced a broader reckoning with past abuse. The state's Attorney General released a sweeping report documenting decades of child sexual abuse and institutional concealment within the Archdiocese of Baltimore, naming more than 150 clergy and church workers and detailing hundreds of victims. That same year, lawmakers enacted the Child Victims Act, eliminating the civil statute of limitations for childhood sexual abuse claims. In early 2025, Maryland's highest court upheld the law against a constitutional challenge. These developments don't answer who killed Sister Cathy, but they frame why her case continues to matter to survivors and investigators. The record that endures is stark and simple. On November 7, 1969, Sister Cathy drove out to do a bit of shopping and did not return. Her muddy, illegally parked car appeared near her apartment later that night, bakery buns still on the seat. On January 3, 1970, her body was found on a dump site hillside in Baltimore County. The cause of death was a blunt force head injury. Investigators preserved what little physical evidence there was, pursued suspects, tested DNA, including by exhuming a former priest, and compared cases with similar facts. Through all of it, the homicide has remained open. More than 50 years later, Baltimore County's Cold Case Unit continues to re-interview witnesses, evaluate new tips, and apply updated forensic methods as they become available. The case is still officially unsolved, and police continue to ask that anyone who knows something, no matter how small, come forward.